Hello and welcome to another evening of stock car racing here on Premier Sports, where tonight the action comes from sunny Birmingham at Wheels Raceway, the home of motorsport in the second city, for a brisca Formula One Stock Cars World Championship qualifying round. Over 50 Formula One stock cars have travelled here from across the UK for this World Championship qualifier, the first leg of a Midlands double-header, the second leg taking place at Hensford Hills Raceway. Pits are packed out with over 100 cars across three formulas, the F1 supported by National Mini Stocks and brisca Formula 2, with over 50 brisca F1 stock cars here. Tonight's schedule will see the F1 heats and consolation in part 1 of tonight's programme, with finals and Grand Nationals for the F2s and F1s in our second part. But first of all, let's hear from some of the drivers.
197 Ryan Harrison, Mr Marmite of stock car racing. You're back out again this season. What's your plans?
My plans is to ruffle some feathers this year, I think. Take off where we left off, I guess. You know, we're not liked, but that's just is what it is. You know, we come along with a new car. You know, all they do is try and ban things on it. We turn up the first meeting of the year this year, ban something on it again today, just before we're about to go out for practice. You know, we're not liked. We know that. That's why we keep coming back.
Yeah, you have been accused of many things, of being grumpy and over the top, but one thing you are is you are always entertaining.
Yeah, that's it. We do our best, you know, get our sponsors good coverage. We enjoy what we do, and the main thing is this year is to show our speed as well. You know, we've got a real fast race car around us at the minute, so we're gonna show people how to, you know, real get some speed out of these things.
Well, the stock cars have been getting faster and faster over the years, and you certainly do have probably one of the fastest cars, but you know how to put the bumper in as well.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know. Nobody out there worries me one little bit, you know. That's the thing. People don't know how to take me, but they don't fear me. I'm not bothered about them. You know, we're here to go stock car racing, and the idea is you put the bumper in, move them. You know, if you want to put the bumper on me, make sure it counts.
Well, best of luck, and we'll certainly be watching out for you today.
Thank you. Cheers.
Number 73, Rob Cowley, Super Snoopy rides again. 1978, a young lad, started racing. This is your last season, but the lads have done you proud today.
Absolutely superb. I didn't know anything about this car. I didn't know what was going to happen or anything. It was a complete surprise. I hadn't got any idea at all. I mean, it's actually Chris's car, last year's car, that he took away, and he's done it all, done everything.
You're 65 years old and you're still as passionate about racing today as you were then.
Oh yeah, I love my racing. It's just that I am getting a little bit old now, and I feel as though the time's right now to pack it in. At the end of this year, I would have done 40 years. So I just think the time's right.
And you had a bit of drama with your tarmac car in practice the other night. You've damaged the engine, hence the shale car today.
That's right. We came here Wednesday and we did half a dozen laps, and the engine went sick on us. I don't know what it is. It's got to go back to the person that built it, and he hasn't got a clue what it is yet because he ain't got it back. But yeah, we were a little bit down on Wednesday because, like I say, this was set up for shale. But we wanted to honour the booking. We wanted to start the season, so we worked, all of us, not just me, pretty much flat out trying to get it ready for tonight. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes, you know.
Well, best of luck, and I'm sure the fans will love it when they see it on track.
I hope so. It's actually a replica of my 1989 car, and it was sign writing and everything, colours, everything. So, and you just thought that he'd do it for me. I'm so proud.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Great to hear from two of the characters of the sport then, as we get ready to go racing in the sunshine of Birmingham with heat number 1, 25 cars out on track for this one. Half of the entry here tonight. It'll be Richard Woods and Richard Davies to lead the field away. Names to watch in this one include former world champions Lee Fairhurst and Craig Finnegan, the European champion Dan Johnson in number 4. Matt Newson is out in this one as well, and Stuart Smith. He's been in good form so far in the 2017 season. Davies and Woods will lead them off then, ahead of Matt Armstrong and Steve Malkin at the front of the field. There's Nigel Harry in number 45, Richard Bryan in 238, a welcome tarmac appearance for him. We're underway and already we've got a spinner. A couple of cars went out there. One of them was Neil Scothern in car number 152. There's Kelvin Hassel, number 13, in his first ever brisca F1 meeting tonight with Steve Malkin and Richard Davies, who lead them away. Oh, and Aaron Leach crashes into that pile there at turn 3. Frankie Wainman Jr. Frankie JJ is in there as well. Somebody else has piled in as well. See that again from on board with Aaron Leach. Has got sent out wide and clang into the side of the treble 5 car of Frankie JJ. So a couple of cars there didn't even reach the green flag. Neil Scuthern and Frankie JJ in treble 5. The race settling in the late afternoon sun here at Birmingham Wheels Raceway, one of the top tarmac tracks in brisca F1. Matt Armstrong fires Carl Whiteman out wide. He goes into the back of the number 14 of Roger Bromley, the man who races Radical sports cars on the circuits. Roger Bromley, the Radical European Masters racer. There's Kelvin Hassel, number 13. He's raced on the ovals in America as well as in the UK. Carl Whiteman, our novice, stuck there. Another one goes in on turn 3. Richard Bryan's in there as well, and Richard Davies. There's oil down on track, I think. I saw the white flag with the blue circle go out from the start marshal there. There must be oil down at turn 3. We go on board with Bradley Harrison in car number 25, chasing Danny Wainman in 212. It's still Steve Malkin, number 308, who leads the way. There's cars littering turns 3 and 4. Possibly part of the problem might be they're going straight into the sun as they go down the back straight. They might not be able to see where they're going. So leading the way is Steve Malkin Jr. It's Jordan Folding, number 36, in second. Matt Armstrong, the ex-Rebels racer, is third. And already on lap 7, Stuart Smith is up into 4th place. He's got Ben Herdman with his new tarmac car, number 207, up behind him. Matt Armstrong having a go at 36 of Jordan Folding. A great season Matt had on the tarmac last year. Came close to his first win here at Birmingham. Stuart Smith is carving his way through the order very rapidly. Somebody stranded there on the exit of turn 2. That's Aaron Leach, I think, in number 70 with his new car. There's cars absolutely everywhere on turns 3 and 4, and not surprisingly we see the caution flags waving. I think Stuart Smith had just taken the lead when the caution came out, taking it from Steve Malkin. There's Carl Whiteman, 303, stuck there. You can see the black cross on the back panel of his car. That means he's a novice. He started from the back of the grid for this race. Marshals have cleared the track then, and we are ready for the restart with Stuart Smith, the man from Rochdale, in number 390, former world champion, up front ahead of Steve Malkin in 308. Third, we've got Jordan Folding, the son of 4-time world champion Peter. And we've got 207 and 455, Ben Herdman and Matt Armstrong. Matt Newson in number 16 is next, and then 217, that is Lee Fairhurst, the 2012 world champion. He's got tarmac specialist Neil Scriven in number 11 behind him. Jordan Folding already looking to make a move there as we go green flags once again. Folding straight through, wasting no time there, up into second place. Smith already gets his foot down, clears off in front. There you can see the sun above the back straight. That might be causing a few visibility problems before they dive under the shadows of the trees into turn 3. Malkin starting to drop back in 308. We go on board with Matt Newson in number 16, and he gets the bumper in, wallops into the back of Malkin and Herdman there, but he loses the position because there goes Lee Fairhurst and Neil Scriven through on the inside. I think Matt Newson gained 2 places and then lost 3 in the space of 1 turn there. That's how quickly it can happen in brisca Formula 1 stock car racing. Fast and frantic as it always is here at Birmingham. The drivers love this track. No surprise to see their fastest lap of the race from Stuart Smith. Further back in the order, there's number 4, Dan Johnson, the European champion, battling with Bradley Harrison in number 25, the UK's first 4th generation stock car racer. As a couple of cars go out there on the home straight, I couldn't quite see who they were. Inside Neil Scriven there, there's Newson. Ben Riley in there as well, had a few wins here at Birmingham last year in number 422. Stuart Smith with another quick lap there, 15.167, he's way ahead of everybody else. 3 laps to go now. Still Jordan Folding in second. Fairhurst is up to third ahead of Herdman, Danny Wainman, Newson, Scriven, Ben Riley and Steve Whittle in 183 in 9th position. Just reeling off the laps now, Stuart Smith. Making it look almost easy out in front. He's the length of a straight clear of Jordan Folding in second. Going round to start his final lap this time. Stuart Smith down the home straight in front of the huge crowd here at Birmingham Wheels Raceway tonight. Coming up on one of the back markers, that is Armstrong, I think, in 455. no problem for Stuart Smith. He comes home to take a dominant victory in heat number 1. As Armstrong crosses the line with a flat rear tyre. Ben Herdman's been stuffed on the last bend as well. He smokes the tyres out of turn 4. We'll confirm the result then in just a moment. No doubt about your winner, Stuart Smith, in number 390. Most effortless victory there for the man from Lancashire. Starting as he means to go on tonight. What a great start to the season he has had. Was in top form at Bellevue in the mud a couple of weeks ago. Stuart Smith then takes the win by nearly 4 seconds. Lee Fairhurst coming through for second on the final bend. Jordan Faulding dropping to 4th behind Matt Newson. Danny Wainman rounding out the top 5. 15 of the 25 starters made it to the checkered flag.
390, Stuart Smith, winner of Heat 1 at Birmingham. Back to your aggressive best.
Yeah, when you've got a good car underneath you, gives you a bit of confidence to get slow cars out the way, and use your front bumper. That's what it's all about.
But you did say at Bellevue the other week after winning Heat 1 that you were going to be aggressive, you were going to go for it, you wanted the titles. You're certainly living up to that now.
Yeah, I think people have forgot that I can actually race a stock car and can race one quite aggressively. Well, I'm going back to that tactic. I tried to be like my brother these last few years, where he tried to be the fastest man and not touch anybody, and it worked for him, but it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, there's racers and then there's stock car racers in there, and that's certainly what you are.
Yeah, I think that's where I differ from like say my brother and people like that. If I don't care who it is, I'll move them out the way, but that it's good to watch. I used to love watching Jane Bean and Kev Smith and Bobby Burns and Speaky, and watching them move through traffic is what I used to love watching, and I suppose that's where I've got it from.
And that's certainly what brings the crowds in.
Yeah. Let's hope we have a bumper year this year. I think it will. I'm really looking forward to the year because I think we've got some brilliant talent, really good cars. The crowd is as big as I've ever seen it in the job, week in, week out. So the job's good at the minute. There's a lot of people talking it down because Coventry's gone. I don't think it's a problem at all. I think we'll go from strength to strength this year.
Good luck.
Thank you.
The other half of the entry out on track then for heat number 2. Eddie Collins and Alex Wass will lead them away this time. Luminaries to look out for in this one include the world champion Frankie Wainman Jr., Mick Saunders out there, Nigel Green, local man Ed Mitchell, and also Tom Harris debuting a brand new car this weekend. So we get underway, then already bumpers going in among the yellow tops. It's Eddie Collins who leads them away. Fast Eddie in 147, bit of a tangle there between a couple of yellow tops. That slowed Mickey Randall down in number 172. I think that might have been Todd Jones that he got tangled up with there in 186. So Mickey Randall slows up. I think he's got a puncture. The push and shove there into turn 1 as they race into the sunset here at Birmingham Wheels Raceway. Eddie Collins and Alex Wass from the front row setting the pace. Rob Cowley's in this one as well with his superb looking machine. So the race settles in then. Looking back from Drew Lamas making his debut here this weekend, number 543, making the move up from brisca F2 stock cars. There's Collins in the lead in the blue car. Lamas is in 3rd place behind Alex Wass in the grey machine. Already the higher graders making progress up the order in this one. Paul Carter in number 300 as well in the middle of that group. Ryan Harrison getting the bumper in on Ed Mitchell a little further back. Dive their way into turn 1. Car slowing up there on the outside. Couldn't quite identify who that was. We go on board with Nigel Green, the man from Leicestershire, getting close to the National Points Championship last year. Put away in the final at Bellevue. Trying to make up the places here in number 445. He won his first ever stock car race here 10 years ago at Birmingham in a brisca F2. Collins leads it then ahead of Wass. It's number 48, Sean Webster in 3rd. Ryan Harrison going well, he's up to 4th. In 5th place, Neil Hooper, the man from Devon, another graduate of the F2. Rob Cowley in behind him as Alex Wass makes a move for the lead as they come out of turn 4. Almost side by side, he gets the bumper in just briefly there, goes to the inside. Wass is going to take the lead away in car number 283. He's won here on a couple of occasions in the past, including when he debuted a new car here last year. Alex Wass into the lead, and Sean Webster, the man from Sheffield, former saloon stock car world champion, has followed him through into 2nd place. Eddie Collins, in only his 3rd brisca F1 meeting, has gone down into 3rd. Here comes Webster attacking for the lead, but he misses Alex Wass by a mile there into turn 3. That attack didn't work, but he's just about been able to hold second place behind the 283 car. Bit of smoke coming off the race leader there. Looks like he's in trouble. I think he might be dropping oil there, Alex Was, so the other drivers will have to be careful. Yeah, you can see the smoke pouring off the 283 car. He's in trouble. Still leading, but I think his days are numbered in this one. We come into the final 5 laps very shortly, and Alex Was, I think he's going to have to pull up here. He won't be out in front for too much longer. Still there in second and third. We've got another car going up in smoke there, and that's caught out the race lead. That was Richard Dickerson, has blown up. There's oil on the track. They're all going in. Eddie Collins is in there, Sam Was in 284, and the world champion's been caught out as well, Frankie Wainman Jr. So who's that given the lead to? Because Collins has gone in there as well. It's this man, 197. Ryan Harrison has taken up the lead. You can see the oil on the track there at turn 1. And on our camera lens as well, there's oil everywhere. It came from both Alex Was and also Richard Dickerson's car in 443 there. There's a graveyard of cars at turn 1. 115 Craig McLaughlin in there as well. They all just slid in on the oil, no chance of escaping. Oh dear, that's really shaken things up in this heat at number 2 for the F1s. Another car smoking, that's Michael Stewart in 512. As Ryan Harrison continues to lead, Nigel Green gets a quick lap in there. He's a little further back in the order. There's Paul Carter, number 300. He has just been lapped, I think. Well, mayhem here in heat number 2. It's all played into the hands of flying Ryan Harrison, the Northamptonshire driver. Former national points champion, son of former world champion Murray Harrison. He's already celebrating as he goes around the final lap. He knows he's got this race sewn up. He's avoided the pool of oil at turn 1. He smokes the tyres around the final turn. Ryan Harrison comes in to take the win. Just lapped Paul Carter and Tristan Jackson there in number 101. Wait to confirm who's second and third in just a moment. The marshals have a bit of a clear-up job to do there on turn 1, which is covered in oil. Well, he thought it was Alex Was dropping the oil. It was in fact Richard Dickerson that caused that oil slick when his engine blew up. Didn't bother Ryan Harrison though. He takes his first win of the season by a clear margin of over 3 seconds ahead of Ed Mitchell, the local man, in second place, Nigel Green in third, Neil Hooper, and a subdued Mick Sauder rounding out the top 5. 16 of the 27 starters made it to the flag.
Got a lucky break at the start and got away, and I don't think I'd have caught the white tops, but there was someone chucked a load of oil out and they all went in, and I just picked up the pieces really, so that's good enough.
Yeah, you were certainly lucky because everybody went flying in on that turn 1 and you managed to avoid it, and that was you gone.
Yeah, I mean, I seen it pretty early, and I knew it wasn't going to be good, and you know, the 2 young lads that was up front, they're only young, but they'll realise next time when that happens just to slow down, take it easy. But you know, there's some quick, good young drivers out there, and certainly wouldn't have caught them.
Bring on the final.
Yeah, let's get involved.
Consolation time then for the F1s here at Birmingham. These are the drivers who didn't make it through to the final at the first attempt. 19 cars out there. Frankie Wainman Jr., the world champion, is out in this one, as is his son, Frankie JJ. Saw them caught out in their heats. Frankie JJ didn't do a lap in heat 1, while Frankie Wainman Jr. spun on oil in his heat. Roger Bromley in number 14, the lone blue grader for this one. Also got Bradley Harrison out there. Todd Jones as well in 186. A couple of novices starting from the back as well, including Carl Whiteman and Craig McLaughlin. We get underway then with our 16-lap consolation. Richard Woods in 268 leads them off ahead of Richard Davies and Drew Lammas in 543, trying to get through on the inside for second place. Matt Armstrong in there as well, and Kelvin Hassel, one of our novices, but with previous oval racing experience on both sides of the Atlantic, electing to start from white grey. Bit of a schmozzle there going into turns 3 and 4. Nigel Harry out of the race. He's got broken front suspension, on the front wheels hanging off. A spin there for somebody at turn 3. That's Sean Webster in number 48. Looks like he's out of this one. So we lose a couple of yellow graders in an early tangle. Race settling in then. There's Carl Whiteman at number 303. Looks like he's about to go a lap down, our novice grader. Got Drew Lammas behind him there, elbows him out of the way. Looks like Lammas is now up front in 543 ahead of Richard Davies in 325. As Lammas leads it from Davies and Matt Armstrong. We're on board with the new car of Aaron Leach, number 70. He spun out in his heat. Chasing now the white graders at the front. Paul Carter up ahead of us as well, number 300 in the Murray Harrison built car. Somebody stranded there on the outside of turn 4. That's Tristan Jackson, the ex-Superstocks racer in 101. There's smoke there from Bradley Harrison in 25, but he's still going. He's just done the fastest lap of the race. There's number 13, Kelvin Hassel. Raced everything from American ovals to Legends cars, circuit racing as well in a classic Ford Cortina with his father. 238 there with the smaller wing design. That's Richard Bryan on board with Bradley Harrison, chasing now the world champion Frankie Wainman Jr. Ahead of them Todd Jones in number 186. We saw him at Wimbledon earlier this season have a good battle with Mick Sauder. Mick's already qualified for tonight's final. Junior Wainman chasing the 186 of Jones. Lower graders still holding sway at the front. Aaron Leach attacking Kelvin Hassel there. There's Drew Lamas. Looks like he's got a problem. I think he's got a puncture, Drew Lamas. And yes, the leader has gone. So we lose Drew Lamas. It's now at 4.55 of Matt Armstrong, the ex-Rebels racer, who is up front ahead of Paul Carter, Aaron Leach, then Jones and Junior Wainman. A great shame for Drew Lamas in his first ever brisca F1 meeting, the graduate from the Formula 2s. Kelvin Hassel gets sent wide there in number 13. Todd Jones has just done the fastest lap of the race. Hassel wide again, courtesy of Frankie JJ in treble 5. Back on board with Aaron Leach in number 70, chasing the two leaders. Looks like he's up into third place now. Matt Armstrong under pressure from Paul Carter in number 300 for the lead. He's going to take the lead, I think, as they go into turn 3. He goes through on the inside. Matt Armstrong in one of Matt Newson tyre cars goes down into second. Kelvin Hassel also in a Matt Newson car. 5 laps to go now. It's Paul Carter who's got the lead ahead of Armstrong. Carl Whiteman showing in third. It's actually Aaron Leach, third, number 17. Looks like his timing transponder isn't working. And Todd Jones is next, ahead of Junior Wainman, the world champion. Perhaps just playing it safe here, looking to get into tonight's meeting final. There is Carl Whiteman, number 303, ahead of the race leader. In fact, he's a lap down. The 303 car. He's done some quick laps in this race, though, as through into second comes the number 70 of Aaron Leach. And Carl Whiteman out of shape. He's going to spin it there, coming down the back straight. Not quite. Good save, Carl Whiteman. Not bad for a newcomer to brisca F1. He's learning the ropes very quickly here. Aaron Leach closing in on Paul Carter. A couple of laps to go now. And up the inside, Leach has got the bumper in on turn 1. They're side by side as they go down the back straight. Aaron Leach going to take the lead on the inside. They're coming up to lap Craig McLaughlin as well. And yes, through goes number 70, Aaron Leach, into the lead as they starts the final lap. Leach a bit out of shape there around turns 1 and 2. Carter will try to fight back. Waitman's there as well. Well, he had a win here last season, his first ever in the sport, Aaron Leach, as a white grader. He's going to come through to win the consolation. Aaron Leach takes it in number 70 ahead of Paul Carter. It looks like Wainman may have just pipped Matt Armstrong on the line for third place. Confirm the rest of the placings in just a few moments' time as Richard Woods pops 238 Richard Bryan on the last bend. So a fair bit of action all the way down the field in that one. The red flags now come out. It's number 70, Aaron Leach. That's his third win in brisca F1. His first came here last year when Ben Riley spun on the last bend of a heat here at Birmingham. The winner is Aaron Leach ahead of Paul Carter, with Junior Wainman just pipping Matt Armstrong for third. Todd Jones rounding out the top 5 ahead of Frankie JJ. 15 of the 19 starters went the distance in our consolation.
Number 70, Aaron Leach, winner of the Formula 1 consolation. I believe that's your third win in a Formula 1.
Correct, second here, third in total.
Some controversy on the finish line between you and Paul Carter.
Paul Carter went to take victory lap. I don't know why. I passed him with 2 or 3 to go. So
that was a quiet race for a consolation, but now you're in the final and now the fun begins.
Yeah, for the amount of cars that were in the consolation, it was pretty mild, to be honest. But I knew if I kept my head on, see it through.
Well, best of luck in the final.
Cheers, pal. Thank you. Ta.
So some excellent action as always here at Birmingham so far this evening. Join us for more stock car racing after this break. Welcome back to Birmingham Wheels Raceway. We're almost ready to continue racing under the floodlights, but first of all, recently we headed down to Warwickshire to catch up with one of brisca F1's fans' favourites.
I'm Nigel Harry, number 45. I got involved with the sport 2010. I saw the TV programme Gears and Tears on BBC at 10:30 at night and got totally addicted. It's a fantastic sport to get involved with. Went on to one of the forums, forums for every sport nowadays, and found the Stocksnet forum, started asking a few questions, how I got involved, and how I go about buying a car. Bought my first car that winter, and I did the gala meeting at the end of 2010, and a lot of new drivers will have their first meeting at the gala meeting. And then I refurbed the car that winter and repainted it, and I started the season fully in 2011. The forum lads have really helped me along the way. I got advised what car to buy. I bought an FWJ car with a good engine. So my advice has come from friends I've met along the way, really, and a lot of other drivers. Other drivers have been absolutely smashing. And then the following year, when I bought a tarmac car as well, and got more addicted, and got up to blue, and got to top blue actually, and won a couple more races along the way, a couple of disqualifications, and bought a bigger truck, and just got more and more addicted. Just spent all my spare money on it. So my first engine was a 434 on a dry sump. I've took the dry sump off now, since it's on a wet sump. It's been refurbed this winter, and it's back in this car. This isn't my first car I bought. My first car was an FWJ car, and that did me proud for 2 or 3 years. And then I decided to buy a good quality tarmac car, which is the one behind you, which is the Andy Smith Superstar car. Fantastic car. So I bought that, I sold my FWJ car and bought this car, which was Stuart Smith's World Final winning car from Kingsland Final in 2008. I wanted to buy 2 top quality cars, so I've got no excuses. I don't want excuses, I want a good kit so I can do the best I possibly can. I didn't do many tarmacs last year. I did a tarmac I did 2 or 3 at the start of the year, then I went to Hensford and won the final, got disqualified because the car was too light on the rear at the end of the race. So I got a little bit disheartened with the tarmac and didn't do tarmac for the rest of the season. So I just did shale. So I did a lot of meetings in this car. I did get hurt actually at Kingsland. I broke my shoulder blade, so I had another 6 weeks off with a broken shoulder. But by the end of the season, a stock car's pretty trashed. All the bumpers and nerf rails are bent, and my bonnets were bent, my side bonnets were bent, the wing was tatty and shot blasted because you're on shale, so the whole car is getting shot blasted every week. So to keep a car immaculate is hard work. Now, this is my 7th year in my sport coming up, and I was white the first year, then I was yellow, then I got to blue, top blue, back to yellow, blue again, top blue again. I never quite made it to red. So when I started the sport, I said I'd got 2 ambitions in the sport, and one was to make a world final or make it red. Well, I made the world final in 2014. So if I give up now, I've made one of them ambitions, haven't I? So I'm not bothered. If I don't make red, it doesn't matter. But I would like to get to red, just to be able to tick that box and say I got there.
Great to hear from Nigel Harry there. We're ready for the meeting final for the brisca Formula 1 stock cars under the Birmingham floodlights. 30 cars out there racing over 20 laps. The green flag goes down and we are underway. Already bumpers going in among the red tops. Bit of smoke from Ben Herdman's car there, number 207. Looks like everybody is away well. Stu Cheville piling in there, the Scotsman in 518, the former saloon stock car star, and Aaron Leach gets spun out. Our consolation winner tangles with Jordan Folding. That's claimed Michael Scriven in number 12 as well. We'll be looking forward to the Hensford part of this Midlands weekend. They're a Hensford specialist. The blue grader. It's not going again. Somebody into the fence up there on turn 2. There's Neil Hooper in 545. Here come the leaders. It's Matt Armstrong in 455 who's got the early advantage. Ben Herdman in second. They race their way around turns 1 and 2. 464 of Luke Davidson attacking Ryan Harrison. He goes in on turn 1, so we're not going to see a heat and final double, I don't think, for the 197 car. It's Ben Herdman and Matt Armstrong who set the pace. Colin Goodswin in 372, the East Anglian, up there in third. As the race starts to settle down, they start to sort themselves out. There's the world champion, number 1, Junior Wainman, in the middle of a pack with Nigel Green. Lee Fairhurst was in there as well. Matt Armstrong under fire from Paul Carter in number 300. Behind them, 512, that is Michael Stewart. This is the battle for the front of the pack then. The 2 yellow graders, 207 Ben Herdman, 372 Colin Goodswin, and wallop straight in goes Steve Malkin in car number 308 on turn 4. Lee Fairhurst is tangled up with Todd Jones there, and there's a wheel off there. I think that's come off Fairhurst's car. Number 217 spins onto the centre, so I think the caution flags will come out for that loose wheel on turn 3. Yes, indeed they do. The yellow flags are out. There's the reason. A wheel off, a tyre off at least Lee Fairhurst's car. So let's have a look again from on board with Nigel Green. There goes Fairhurst, and goodness me, Green and Dan Johnson only just missed him. That's the end of Lee Fairhurst's race then, number 217. We're on at lap 7. Pace car leads them round. Ben Herdman, up to now, has been primarily a shale start, but moving to tarmac with a very smart new car this season. Colin Goodswin second, then Paul Carter, Michael Stewart, Matt Armstrong, Neil Hooper, and that man Stuart Smith already well up into the top 10 with some very fast laps so far. Somebody a little slow away there. That was Paul Carter in 300. Michael Stewart under fire from Neil Hooper. Stuart Smith pushing the ball wide. He goes straight through into third place. What a restart by Stuart Smith. Now Hooper under fire from Carter. Also in there is Roger Bromley, I think that was in number 14. Look at this as they come out of turn 4. 3 and 4 abreast, and Bromley's going to be caught up. Oh, goodness me, straight up the bank. Great cloud of dust. That was Mick Sauder tangling with Bromley, I think. Matt Newson's got caught up with Michael Scriven. They and Paul Carter are stuck there on the inside of turns 1 and 2. You can just about see through the dust there. Roger Bromley sitting on top of the infield bank. Well, that was a rather explosive restart. Typical Birmingham action. Matt Newson out of the race. He's got a flat tyre. Colin Goodswin slowing up as well. So we're at half distance in this brisca F1 final. It's still Ben Herdman up front. Stuart Smith now second. Frankie Wainman Jr., the world champion, is in third. We ride with Ben Riley in 4.22. He had a few wins here at Birmingham last year. He's chasing Matt Armstrong in 4.55. Goes up the inside around turns 3 and 4, past the pit gate. So things settling down now after that very chaotic restart. Stuart Smith is reeling in, our race leader, 207 Ben Herdman. Michael Scriven in behind them. There's Roger Bromley's car. Interesting place to park. Hope he's enjoying the view from there. Hope he doesn't roll backwards onto the track. Nigel Green under fire from Junior Wayman, and the leader under fire from Stuart Smith, who goes through on turn 4. Got the bumper in perfectly there. Stuart Smith, is he looking for a heat and final double? Certainly looking all set at the moment, taking the lead going into lap 13. There's Dan Johnson. He's got a bit of damage to his aerofoil, chasing after number 1 of Junior Wayman. Dropping back now into second place is Ben Herdman. And the third is between Green, Johnson and Wayman. Behind them Michael Stewart. There's the Whittle in there as well in 183, the blue grader. Smith laps Paul Carter, who got caught up with Matt Newson on the restart. The Murray Harrison built car. Ben Herdman not far behind, but they're way ahead of the rest. As that tangle down the home straight that created a hole in the field. Roger Bromley still stuck there, pointing at the sky. Different to racing a sports car on the circuit. The field starts to spread out now. Stuart Smith is reeling off the fastest times. Looks like it's still Nigel Green in third place in 4.45, ahead of Junior Wayman, then Dan Johnson, Stewart, Whittle, Riley, Neil Scriven and Craig Finnegan, the former world champion. Another former world champion some 10 years ago. He won the world final at Kings Lynn. Stuart Smith, with just a couple of laps to go now. Almost making it look easy tonight. He dominated his heat. He's dominating this final as well. And he really is going to be a force to be reckoned with come the world final at Ipswich in September, I'm sure. 2 laps to go for Stuart Smith. They're not going to catch him here. Ben Herdman looks like a settled for second. Unless Nigel Green can catch him on the final turn. Johnson having a go at Wainman for 4th place. Behind them it's Todd Jones. Nigel Green with a quick lap on lap 18, but we're into the last lap now. Stuart Smith is not going to be caught here. He's over a second up on Ben Herdman. Almost push the clutch home and coast in from here. Stuart Smith, straightforward heat and final double. Slides across the line in celebration. Ben Herdman comes over in second. I think Nigel Green hung on to third place. Johnson ahead of Wainman for 4th. Then Jones, Stewart, Riley, Whittle and Neil Scriven. That's how the top 10 looks to me as they cross the line. We'll confirm that in just a moment. Well, one man has dominated the racing here at Birmingham tonight. He will aim to do so at Hensford as well. Stuart Smith, the winner by nearly 3 seconds in the end over Ben Herdman. Nigel Green taking third ahead of Dan Johnson and Junior Wainman. And Stuart Smith with the 8 quickest laps of the race. Total dominance from Stuart Smith. 20 of the 30 starters made the flag. Let's head down to the pits then, where it looks like Richard Barwick has got some competition from a young apprentice interviewer.
Don't ask me something. Eh? No, gone shy.
Thank you. 390 Stuart Smith, heat and final today.
Yeah, it's like I said before, it's the attitude change, the driving change. I know I'm from Red, it's a bit easier from there, but we really need this. You know, we've had a lot of bad luck and a couple of rubbish seasons for my standards, and it's good to do it for the teams and the sponsors and the fans. You know, I had some come to me today and say, you know, it's been rubbish for us as well as yourself with all the engine problems and car problems. But we spent a day yesterday testing, which is something I never ever do, and I'm so glad I did. It's just, it's like a total different machine now.
Most races are won in the garage, and you made a gap for yourself at the beginning of the final and then just drove away from everybody.
Yeah, I knew I had to get a good start, because if I got involved in a push and shove in at the start with the other Reds, I knew I was faster than most of them. I just needed to get that one corner, and I got it. When the other cars behind me slid wide, I knew I'd got a gap then, and if my car was good enough, I would have been on for it. But yeah, when you're winning that early on in a race as well, you tend to feel every nut and bolt coming loose, you know. It's not a nice feeling.
Now you've got a lap down in the Grand National. I'm sure you're going to want some yellow flags in that one.
Yeah, you need them to get any good positions on a night like tonight. We've got loads of cars, you know, really good turnout of cars, and they're all fast. You know, there's no slouches around there. So a couple of yellow flags and make a few changes, and hopefully they'll make it a bit faster, because you've always got to try and go faster. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a good place and some good points.
Moving on now to look at the Brisca Formula 2 stock cars, ready for their 20-lap meeting final. 29 cars out there. Heat won by yellow grader 787 Ollie Herzog, and by white top 142 John Hadfield, who leads the grid away. The consolation won by 560 Luke Wrench. Other names to watch include the Scottish duo of Gordon Moody, the national points champion in number 7, 647 the British and European champion Chris Burgoyne. Big field of F2s under the Birmingham floodlights gets underway then. Jonathan Hadfield in 142 will lead them off from white grade. Somebody getting spun out there already, that's Mark Gibbs in 578, and he's done a Roger Bromley there up onto the banking on the home straight. Fortunate not to roll over. It's 142 John Hadfield who leads ahead of Michael Heath in 661. James Rogers in 544 is in third place. This big field of 29 Brisca Formula 2s out there for this final. Jack Cave, Captain Caveman in 801 is in fourth place. Then it's Ollie Herzog, our earlier heat winner. Dave Chaos Harley in 362. He's had a couple of wins already this year at Birmingham. F2's regular entertainers here. There's Michael Green, he's won a final here already this season, getting the bumper in on Sam Weston. And Mickey Brennan, the former world champion, another ex-world champion out in this race. Kelvin Marshall in number 101, won the world title 2 years ago at Hensford. But it's Jonathan Hadfield in 142, streaking clear at the front. So races on the circuits in Ginetta GT cars alongside his brother Ryan. Up to fourth goes Ollie Herzog in 787. No surprise to see Gordon Moody has done the fastest laps of the race so far. The silver top back in the pack at the moment though, trying to fight his way through. He's on the tail of his fellow Scot Chris Burgoyne with the checkered roof in 647. British and European champion last year. Some Tim for the world title. That went to Dutchman Wim Peters on a very wet track at Mildenhall. Michael Heath still there in second. Here comes Herzog at the inside of the 544 car. Takes James Rogers for third place. Hadfield away and clear, looking for his first final win in the sport. He's had a couple of wins here at Birmingham already this year, but yet to win a final, and that's Gordon Moody pulling off. The number 7 car, well, the pre-meeting favourite is out of it. A rare retirement for him. The Flying Scot is out of it. Flying up front is still Jonathan Hadfield. His dad Rob raced at Brisca F2 and also National Hot Rods. The Hadfield family now heavily involved in Ginetta GT racing on the circuits. Over 2 seconds clear now of Ollie Herzog in second, then it's Heath, Rogers, Harley, Cave and teenage Scotsman Ewan Miller in number 629, who's had several wins already this year, particularly up at Skegness. Fastest lap of the race so far as we come up to half distance is Kelvin Marshall in number 101. Can they catch John Hadfield, the winner of heat number 2 tonight? And that's Marshall tangling up there, and he's been clobbered by Mickey Brennan. Chris Bradbury crashes out as well in 886, the former Superstocks world champion. Another tangle there, Ben Lockwood, and 318 Leighton O'Reilly get tangled up as well. Ben Lockwood in 618 got spun out. Still leading the way is Hadfield. There's Craig Wallace, he's gone a lap down in number 16, another of our Scottish visitors. There's Dave Harley ahead of James Rogers, then it's Jack Cave. Hadfield from Herzog, Harley, 3 H's up front, then Rogers, Cave, Liam Bentham in the green car there, number 488 in 6th place. Hadfield continues to lead. Is he going to take his first final win? He's had a number of wins at Skegness as well as Birmingham this year. Very busy all the way down the paddock. We caught a glimpse of the checkered roof of Chris Burgoyne in there. Leader coming up to lap Matt Everard in 5.04. Switch from shale to tarmac racing this year. Ollie Herzog still second in 7.87, won the opening heat, so got our 2 heat winners running first and second so far. Somebody rejoining there after a spin, 3.18, Leighton O'Reilly, the ex-Lightning Rod racer. Dave Harley still in there in third. Had a couple of wins in the first 2 meetings of the season, but he's been plagued by car problems since then. Hadfield looking good here as the laps start to count down. Less than 5 to go now for the 1.42 car. Oh, is he slowing up there, John Hadfield? Yes, he's in trouble, and he's lost his first final win. The car has let him down. What a shame for John Hadfield. And that's given the lead to 7.87 Ollie Herzog. So Herzog out front then. He'll go up to blue grade if he wins this final. Dave Harley now second. Michael Green is up to third. Then Rogers and Bentham with Matt Stoneman in 6th place, the West Country driver. Leader coming up on Craig Wallace. Ollie Herzog, the man from northwest England, comes from a racing family. They've raced V8 Hot Stocks, National Mini Stocks, Bangers and plenty more, the Herzogs, over the years. He's raced Bangers for the Sale Sharks team. The Herzog family. Leighton O'Reilly slowing up, Dave Harley laps him, he's in 2nd place ahead of Michael Green. Further down the order we've got former British champion 700 Adam Rubery, the former Rebel star, in the top 10. We're not going to catch Ollie Herzog though, we are on the last lap now. He is away and gone in front. Comes up on Craig Wallace as he comes round the final turns. The man from Altrincham near Manchester who comes in to take the win. A heat and final double for Ollie Herzog. Way ahead of Dave Harley in 2nd place, who holds off Michael Green to the line. And it looks like Liam Bentham came over in 4th place. So a few big names hitting trouble in that one. You have to feel for Jonathan Hadfield, who had that race in the bag until his car sadly let him down with around 5 laps to go. Congratulations, Ollie Herzog. First final win of the season. Always a flamboyant driver is the man from the northwest. He takes the win, nearly 3 seconds clear of Dave Harley, with Green third, then Bentham, Stoneman and James Rogers up in the top 6 as well. 29 cars started, 20 of them went the distance. Grand National time then for the Brisca Formula 1 stock cars. We've got 30 cars back out for this one. Stuart Smith going from the 1-lap handicap, having won the final. 1 car slowing up there already on the outside. I think that's Kelvin Hassel, who hasn't got away. It's Eddie Collins who will lead them off in car number 147 ahead of Drew Lamas in 5.43, trying to get the bumper in there. Somebody else has got away very slowly. That's Will Hunter in number 220. He's already gone a lap down, so Stuart Smith setting off in pursuit of the rest of the field. It's Eddie Collins, fast Eddie, who leads it, thumps the back straight fence there. 1 car pulling off, that's 103 Richard Masterson. Will Hunter tries to unlap himself after problems off the line. Collins could be about to lose his lead here. Drew Lamas having a look down the inside. It was Kelvin Hassel we lost in number 13, our newcomer. Lee Fairhurst under fire from the world champion there as they go around turns 1 and 2. Dan Johnson up behind them in number 1. There goes Rob Cowley in his late 80s tribute car number 73. But it's Drew Lamas who has taken the lead ahead of Eddie Collins and Colin Goodswin in third in 3.72. Very busy all the way down the pack. There's Steve Whittle battling with Danny Wade, but we've not seen much of Danny here tonight. Nor have we seen much of Tom Harris, the number 84. He's running in his brand new tarmac car further down the pack tonight. Looking back from Michael Stewart in 5.12 into the glow of the Birmingham floodlights. Best floodlighting in the country, certainly here at Birmingham Wheels Raceway. Lee Fairhurst under fire again there in the background. Race still settling in. Leading the way it is Drew Lammas on his debut this weekend in Brisca F1. Number 543 moving up from the F2s. Will he take his first win here? Well, he's well clear at the front. He's got Will Hunter just ahead of him there. 543 car continues to lead ahead of a couple of yellow graders still second and third. There's Kelvin Hassel's stranded car. Ryan Harrison moving up into the places as well. It's Goodswin second. Harrison now up into third ahead of Rob Cowley, Ben Herdman and Neil Hooper. Man from the southwest in 545. He's got Big Sorda behind him. Aaron Leach dropping back in number 70. There is earlier winner Ryan Harrison chasing Colin Goodswin for second place. The Union flag is out from the start, Marshall. That means halfway. 8 laps gone, 8 to go. Ben Herdman gets sent wide there by Neil Hooper in 545. Stuart Smith is already carving his way up the order. We see him in the top 10 here. I wonder if there's some extra points. Well, Drew Lammas is away and gone in 543. Very impressive debut meeting indeed in the Peters Brothers sponsored car. He is clear of Ryan Harrison by just over a second. Third is Goodswin, then Rob Cowley up into fourth. We've lost Eddie Collins. He's dropped out on turn 4, who led the first couple of laps. Stuart Smith still carving his way through the pack a little further back in the order. Fairly well spread out now. We're on board with 422 of Ben Riley getting the bumper in on Matt Newsom. They're fighting with Nigel Green as well in 445. One of the most consistently quick drivers around Birmingham Wheels Raceway. Newson at the inside though takes Green coming off turn 2. Down the back straight they go under the Wheels Raceway sign. Somebody spinning out there in the background. That's Bradley Harrison in 25. I think he's tangled with Aaron Leach in the number 70 car. They go off at turn 3. Still leading the way is 543 of Drew Lammas. Clear of Ryan Harrison in second place by over 2 seconds now. This is impressive stuff with just a couple of laps left to run this time. A great debut by Drew Lammas, coming up to lap Paul Hopkins, one of our novices in 278. Well, Drew Lammas is a Brisca F1 novice. You wouldn't know it to see him drive. It's like Rob Cowley just dropping out of the race there on the outside of turn 2. 543, Drew Lammas. Dominant display in this Grand National. We've seen some big winning margins tonight, and Drew Lammas is going to take his first ever Brisca F1 win. Comes up to lap Aaron Leach in number 70. Bradley Harrison dropping out in 25 as Drew Lammas comes home to take an excellent victory. Superb stuff from 543 Drew Lammas. Bit of a tangle there coming out of turn 4. 2 cars go off. I think one of them might have been Colin Goodswin in 372. I think it was Mick Sorda that he tangled with. Cloud of tyre smoke as they slid across the line. No such problem though for white grade sensation. 543 Drew Lammas takes his first ever Brisca F1 victory on his debut meeting in the Formula. Won here a few times in Brisca F2 in the past. Began his career in the ORCI mini stocks. A very impressive win indeed. Lammas the winner ahead of Ryan Harrison. Danny Wainman taking third ahead of Michael Stewart and Lee Fairhurst. Stuart Smith made it up to 12th from the lap handicap, and 24 of the 30 starters win the distance.
543 Drew Lammas, first official Formula 1 meeting and first win.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I had a couple of problems earlier on in the night. I had a puncture to start with, and then the car broke down in heat 2. So I'm really happy with that. It's a good start to the year.
Yeah, you've had some good pace tonight. Like you said, you've had some bad luck, but that's a busy track out there, so to get a win is good in any circumstances.
Yeah, I'm happy, really happy. Obviously, I'm new to the Formula, so it's going to take a while to get used to the different setups on the car, because I come from Formula 2s. But yeah, it's a good start, really good, positive for tomorrow.
Yeah, Hednesford's a lot faster, so you'll enjoy that, I think.
Yeah, I've never raced around there, so I think I'm in for an eye-opener.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Final race of the night then here at Birmingham Wheels, the Grand National for the Brisca Formula 2 stock cars. Final winner Ollie Herzog goes from the lap handicap. There's 20 cars out there for 16 laps of Brisca F2 action. Good to see Mark Gibbs back out after his early crash into the banking in the final. Gordon Moody failed to finish the final, back out looking for redemption in this one. Chris Burgoyne's out there as well, Mickey Brennan and Kelvin Marshall. We saw him taken out in a tangle in the final as well. So here we go with our final race action of the night. 16 laps for the Formula 2s in their Grand National. Richard Jones in 5.39 is the man who leads away ahead of Michael Heath. The race starts to settle in. Brent Russell in 7.06 in third place, under fire from the yellow tops. Leading the blue tops is John Broach in 7.22, that looks like to me. So the race settling in then with Richard Jones up front, Russell battling with Gibbs for second place. The quickest time around the opening lap is Ollie Herzog as he goes in pursuit of the rest of the field. It's tough to make up lap handicaps here on this pacey tarmac circuit. Change for the lead as up the inside goes Mark Gibbs in 5.78, and following him, teenage Scottish sensation Ewan Miller in 6.29, graduated from mini stocks at the end of last season. Richard Jones starting to fall back down the order. Matt Linfield moving through into third place. We saw him a few weeks ago take a win on the Shale at a very wet Bellevue. And Mark Gibbs out in front then, somebody spinning out there onto the centre, that's Kelvin Marshall in 1.01 that's gone. So not a good night for the former world champion. Crashed out in the final and now spins out of the Grand National. Fastest lap of the race so far, 1.27 Matt Stoneman, fairly rapidly making his way up the order in this one. Something of a Birmingham specialist is the man from the southwest, and he's already up into third place. Two yellow graders out front though. Mark Gibbs in 5.78, another fastest lap for Stoneman. His lap times are tumbling. Ewan Miller up there in second, looking for his first Birmingham win. He's done some winning in Scotland and at Skegness so far this year. Stoneman in third, then it's Matt Linfield. Gordon Moody already up into fifth place from the back, ahead of Luke Wrench and Michael Heath. Luke Wrench with the orange and white checkered roof, the current shootout champion. Won that here at Birmingham at the end of last year. He's ahead of Richard Jones, still just inside the top 10 in 5.39. White Grader falling back though, another fastest lap for Stoneman. He's reeling off the fastest times as he moves in on the two leaders. He's up into second now, he's got ahead of Ewan Miller. Chasing down Mark Gibbs, used to race under number 270. He's made red top in the past as Mark Gibbs. Unusual to see him down at yellow, but with some good results, he'll soon be back up the grades. But he's under pressure here from Stoneman, who's already had a win at Birmingham this season. Here comes the West Countryman on the attack. 1.27, the bumper goes into turn 3. Stoneman going for the inside, and he takes the lead. The Birmingham specialist goes to the front. Gibbs down to second, then it's Miller. They're still clear of their opposition. It looks like it's Moody next in the order, battling with Matt Linfield. There is Moody. So moving through, we have Luke Wrench. There's Chris Burgoyne with the multi-checkered roof. Red and yellow checks for the European Championship, black and white for the British Championship. They ought to add the world title though. Maybe he will do so this year. The world final being staged on the Shale again at Kings Lynn. Matt Stoneman leads the way then, pulling clear with 3 laps to go now, ahead of Mark Gibbs. Just a couple of retirements so far. Brent Russell is one, Kelvin Marshall is the other. Stoneman looking good here out in front, well ahead of Mark Gibbs now. Ewan Miller still hanging on to third. Quite a scalp for him if he could hold off the great Gordon Moody. Behind him it's Luke Wrench and then Matt Linfield. It looks like a fairly quiet conclusion to this Brisca F2 Grand National event. Not much progress made by Ollie Herzog. He's not into the top 10. Just see him in the background there with the Dayglow yellow roof on his car. Stoneman just flying out in front. He laps Richard Jones in 5.39, who led the first 2 laps of this race. Coming to the end of the action here at Birmingham Wheels Raceway, it is a win for Matt Stoneman in our last race of the night, the F2 Grand National. Looks like Mark Gibbs hanging on for second, and Ewan Miller holding off Gordon Moody. Impressive stuff there for third place, the 2 Scots. But it's a West Countryman, Matt Stoneman, who wins the Grand National. Latest in a number of wins he has taken here at Birmingham Wheels Raceway. Stoneman the winner then by just over 3 seconds ahead of Mark Gibbs. Ewan Miller third, Gordon Moody and Luke Wrench rounding out the top 5. Ollie Herzog made it up to 15th place. 18 of the 20 starters went the distance. Let's have a look at the points then for the Brisca F1s. In the grading points, Nigel Green stays ahead of Stuart Smith with the Waynemans and Craig Finnikin next, while in the World Qualifiers it's still Nigel Green just 4 points ahead of Dan Johnson. They're well clear of Lee Fairhurst and Danny Wayneman. The large crowd goes home happy then with an excellent night of racing here at Birmingham Wheels Raceway. Join us for more stock car racing from Hensford soon on Premier Sports. It's goodbye for now.